Spring 26 just wrapped up and it was stacked to say the least. One Piece finally hit Elbaf, ReZero came back for season 4, 100 million yen showed up in a girl's apartment and ruined her entire life. So instead of doing 10 separate reviews, we're doing something different. Welcome to the Spring 26 Anime Awards. What's up everyone, welcome back. This season gave us Returning Giants, a long-awaited new adaptation, and at least one show that made the entire internet argue about whether its premise made any legal sense whatsoever. We're handing out awards across the board. Grab a seat, let's hand out some trophies. This one goes to Liar Game and it's not close. The setup is simple and brutal. Kanzaki now opens her apartment door to find a letter and a suitcase containing 100 million yen. Congrats, you're now a contestant in a deception game with a stranger, and whoever ends the round with the money wins. She's naive, she's painfully honest. She immediately seeks out Akiyama, a brilliant former con artist, because she has no idea how to survive in a world where lying is the entire point. It's a tense, paranoid psychological premise, and when it works, it really works. The problem is, the show asks you to accept some shaky internal logic along the way. There's no clear sense of who's actually running this game or why, no real explanation for why participating is supposedly consequence-free from a legal standpoint, and Nao's instinct to trust a literal con man within minutes of getting burned by someone else stretches believability past its limit. The premise is the best new idea of the season. The execution? Well, let's just say Madhouse knows what they're doing. Witch Hat Atelier takes this one home, and honestly, it wasn't fighting fair. Like, did you see episode 5? Kamome Shirahama's artwork has always been gorgeous on the page, all intricate magic sigils and lush watercolor style detail. And the anime adaptation translates that without losing the texture. Koko's introduction to magic, her apprenticeship under Kifri, the constant tension of casting spells in secret so ordinary people never see. Every frame carries weight. This is a story about despair and the cost of power and hope hiding underneath all of it. And the visuals never let you forget the stakes, even during the quiet scenes. The English dub deserves a mention too. The decision to give characters different regional accents reflecting the wider world the story takes place in is a small touch that adds real texture to a series already overflowing with it.
Your hat, you dropped it earlier. Saying it with my eyes is no better. The truth is, I just got really scared and took it out on you.
ReZero Season 4 wins this category by doing exactly what ReZero does best. Putting Subaru through something emotionally unbearable and trusting Studio White Fox to make you feel every second of it. The production value stayed consistent with what long-time fans expect. The emotional beats land the way they always have. This is a franchise that built its entire identity on psychological devastation, disguised as a fantasy adventure. And Season 4 didn't soften that approach one bit. Now this goes to the anime you'd least expect, the psychological slice of life, Classroom of the Elite. Yes, the anime about high schoolers trying to pass their exams had the best hand-to-hand combat this season. We have Ayano Koji defending against a knife with his hand. We have what I feel was my personal favourite, Ayano Koji completely destroying Nanase without even touching her once. You'd think as a man, being in a position of fighting a woman would be quite the predicament. It's almost a lose-lose scenario, but of course our Go manages to find a path to victory from even the most dire of situations. And to top it all off, we have Ayano Koji in a 2v1 between the acting chairman and another teacher. All I can say is that this was peak. No powers, just straight hands. I made friends with the second prettiest girl in my class gets this one. The title alone tells you the show knows exactly what kind of story it's telling, and it doesn't beat around the bush either. We get actual progression and character development within the first season. This leads me to our honourable mention, Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 5. Mostly out of sheer stamina, Kazuya is still spiraling, Chizuru is still complicated. 5 seasons in, the show is still mining the same well of romantic chaos, and somehow it still works for the audience that's stuck with it this long. Otagal, the show asking whether gals genuinely vibe with otaku culture, or whether that's a fantasy, wins this category for pure comfort value. Takuya keeps a low profile until 2 girls from his class start talking to him, and the show builds its charm entirely on the 3 of them bonding over anime and games rather than over any artificial conflict. It's low stakes in the best way possible. Sometimes the season needs a show that isn't trying to destroy you emotionally every episode. Wisteria Wand and Sword Season 2 takes this one. Although in terms of fights, the majority of the season wasn't too satisfying, as despite Will's transformation, he only really fought against monsters. However, that is not the case for what was arguably the most epic battle this season, and that was a battle between the Magia Vandas, Elfaria versus Zeo. We basically got blessed with two of the strongest characters in the verse, duking it out to their absolute limit. What a spectacle that was. And as Fern would say, there was never any real competition here. One Piece reaching Elbaf is the single biggest anime event of Spring 26, full stop. This is an arc manga readers have been waiting years for. The Land of the Giants, Loki, the history buried underneath everything Oda has been building towards since the Skypiea arc decades ago. The anime finally getting there carries an enormous amount of accumulated anticipation, and just the fact that it's happening on screen now, in real time, makes every episode feel like an event rather than just another installment. Whatever complaints you have about One Piece's pacing over the years, none of that matters this season. Elbaf showing up at all is the win. That's Spring 26. All these shows, one giant comeback to Elbaf, a magical apprentice with watercolor for blood, and 100 million yen that ruined someone's week. Some of these earn their trophies through pure craft, some earn them by being the show everyone couldn't stop arguing about. Both count. Let me know which of these you actually think deserve the top spot, because I already know the comments are about to turn into their own version of the Lion Game. See you next season.